Right of way in Sabre is essentially the same as it is in foil, with one very significant difference. I would argue that right of way in Sabre is far less forgiving, less open to interpretation, so it's very important that you don't make mistakes. Otherwise it could cost you your right of way, whereas in foil there can be a little bit of wiggle room in the interpretation. So one very good example we already talked about in lesson 2 and annex 2 is the movement of your arm. So just because you're advancing, you have right of way, but if you do your lunge and your arm is pulled back, you're losing right of way in that instance. Same thing, if you're making your attack, your arm is extending, but you haven't started the cut from the blade. If your arm is extending and the blade's still pointing up, you're probably not going to have your attack counted if your opponent has actually started the cut before you. Other instances in which you can lose right of way is in the stop, same as in foil. If you're advancing and then you retreat, same way, you lose your right of way there. But in other cases, we like to make sure that your actions are following in the correct order. That is, if you're doing a parry, we're expecting your riposte to be direct. We're not expecting it to be withheld. You're going to extend your arm late in the riposting when you're lunging. So in one example, if you are attacking me and I parry, and I step back afterwards, I've lost my right of way, same as in foil. Or if you attack, I parry, and then I reset and throw up for a riposte, that reset is going to cost me my right of way as well. So make sure, whatever you're doing in Sabre, if you're advancing, you're in charge, you have right of way, so 100% commit to that attack. If you don't have right of way and you want to take it back, you have to read for your opponent to stop moving or make one of those micro errors where their arm's withheld or they're not starting their cut in time, or they stop and start retreating. So if you want to take right of way, be very quick with the parry, be very quick with your footwork, and just make sure you're following that technical aspect of Sabre.